Welcome to episode 1 of Sustainability and You, made by Sustaincia.org, on April 3, 2020, in Macau.
Sustaincia is a non-profitable organization, with its mission in using technology and social affairs to encourage sustainability development at multinational levels and at global scale.
Hello, my name is Winston, and I'm your host in this episode, and we have two guests today. Can you guys introduce about yourselves?
Hello, my name is Terrence, co-founder of an open web platform for sustainability development at Sustaincia.org.
Hi, my name is Bashir, co-founder of Sustainability Development Association.
Last week, on March 28, we had the Earth Hour movement, that turned off light for an hour, to show support for our planet, held every year on the last Saturday of March.
Today, we have a story of frustrating journey coming from Andrew Cortina, in an article titled, Backpack, Accounts and Accountability Number 1. If you are interested in reading his article, click the link as listed in the reference section. Okay, Andrew's story goes like this. He had a backpack that he wanted to repair. While the rest of the backpack was still in good condition, the strap part that is typically worn over one shoulder had been teased off from several years of everyday use. He first went through several tailors, but he realized the strap was too thick for sewing machines. He then went to a shoe repair shop that had machines typically worked with leather. He soon realized that the cost of labor and material at local store that helped fixing his backpack was actually higher than getting a new one from a large corporation. He analyzed as the followings. Number 1. Labor and cost of renting are far cheaper in the Philippines than the backpacks that are repaired in downtown San Francisco. Number 2. The factory production process for new backpacks is far more refined, that meets certain quality assurance standards, compared to the humble work of man repairing service at a local shop that Andrew had been visiting. Simply say, you feel more risk of being burned by a local repair service than you buy a new one from a large corporation. That's all about the power of economies of scale, of doing things more efficiently, say higher quality and higher quantity of a product type, at lower cost, while increasing firm size, and I think that this is a good thing. That brings economic prosperity into our society. However, we also need to think of environmental impact when we do life cycle assessment of a physical product, say, the backpack. That's to say, from cradle to grave, from the initial stage of making the backpack, to the ending stage of, say, decomposing the backpack into pieces that hopefully will be reused again, either by human or by nature, while minimizing negative environmental impact. And it all lies to the careful design of the backpack, including the style, the features of all parts of the backpacks can be easily replaced, while keeping all of the remaining the same, and the environment impact, from manufacturing process to the process of ending the backpack's useful life. Therefore, I think this is about the design problem, and not quite the problem of our economic infrastructure. The higher cost of repairing is due to the fact that the backpack hasn't been designed to replace solely the wore-out strap. Perhaps the creator hadn't been thinking about that, or, more likely, if the easy-to-replace and repair backpack feature could raise the cost of production, and the price that a typical customer would not be happy about. Now, we have Terrence and Bashir with us. Would you guys want to offer comments and suggestions to the Andrew's case? Is there anything to say to Andrew? Or, the backpack manufacturer and designer? Or, a typical backpack customer purchasing decision? Terrence first.
I agree with what Winston said. We certainly don't pay enough attention to extend the useful lifetime of many products we use. Take, for example, the mobile phone you are using to listen to this recording. Most of us are going to replace it in a less than 23 months. Actually, our phones are designed with this mind. That's why the batteries are no longer replaceable without breaking it open. The good thing is that we're seeing increase in awareness. Eventually, coordinated efforts between competitors will likely be required, such that there will be incentives for industries to build things that can last longer, or, as the article points out, warranties which are longer and allow consumer to actually repair the product. There are lots of creative solutions, and I think most of these solutions will be coming from startups or associations with fresh thinking and no historical baggage. For example, back to the cell phone markets, there are startups like Fairphone which are developing phones with replaceable components, easy repairability, and built with materials with sustainable sources. Now, if the industry can create a standard where components can be switched between different mobile makers, suddenly, the manufacturers will realize, hey, we don't need to redesign and retest entire mobile design every 12 months. Customers can upgrade their cameras, or replace the battery without throwing out the entire phone, and customers become more loyal to the brand, as they are shopping for a new component, and not the competitor's mobile every 24 months, just because they like a certain new feature.
Thanks for Terrence's feedback. Now we have Bashir.
You all agree with me that success of sustainability in our society today depends partly on how well the society is informed, and I think this can be achieved through education. For instance, take an example of plastic recycling industries. It's imperative to understand plastic components and production line before we can achieve sustainable plastic recycling.
Thank you for Bashir feedback. Again, if you, as a listener of this podcast, have any comment or wish to review this episode in textual format, please go to Sustaincia.org. We have provided you a link in the reference section. Thank you.
This podcast is brought to you by Sustaincia.org. Produced by Lam Y Hu. Read by Google Text-to-Speech Engine. And the music is brought to you by bensound.com.